Today's class is going to be the Aldelo Express top 7 first to market features. Now, I say top 7, but we've got some bonuses in here as well. I normally do top 5s, but we have some extra features I think would be worthy of a little more in-depth dive, and that's why we have the 7. What you may not realize is Aldelo Express has been in development since 2015. It took 2 years of development since we wrote it from scratch. We didn't port over any software from any other platform. We went and built it from scratch for the iPad product. It was first introduced in March of 2017. At that time, it was the most innovative software that had been on the market. And of course, it was based upon our experience with the Aldelo POS that we'd had since 1999. So it was a very robust software to begin with. So initially, it came out of the box with a lot of really great features. It might not have been the first tablet POS system, but it certainly was the most innovative. It had some of the most innovative features in it, and still today, we still have that lead in the industry. It had several first to market ideas and concepts that were very, very advanced for a tablet POS system. Some are still unmatched. Some of the features that we had back in 2017 are still unmatched in the industry today. So let's take a look at some of the honorable mentions that we had in our software. These are either first to market or still unmatched by any other vendor. We have a customized login screen. You're looking at one of the features right here. The ability to have images behind the login screen to make this customizable to the restaurant or to you, where you could take this, put your logo back there, and make this a semi-white label product just for you and your market. That's up to you. You can, where I have the coffee here, you could put any picture back there, and the logo that's above the 10 keypad, that also can be changed and modified. So this can be highly customizable, not something that's done on other systems. We have a feature called required beverage that others just don't have. This is a very cost justifiable feature in the system, one that you should learn if you don't know it. Then there's modifying a modifier. We were asked to do this for the longest time, and we are still an advanced feature with modifying a modifier. Did you know we can do 10 prices per item? There's one for every one of the order types that we have. And then you have the Mesa online, Mesa delivery. You have a total of 10 different prices you can have per item. And then lastly, on the honorable mentions, we have a free API for interfacing to third-party software, whereas our competition charges for this API interface. We don't. In fact, we give a lot of free help to get those interfaces completed. All right, so the first of the ones we're going to dive into, number 7, is menu item images. Every item in our software can have 3 images attached to it. You can have an image for the point of sale, an image for the detailed picture, and an image for the Mesa Plus. So 3 images per item is very significant, especially when you consider that our competitors can't even have 1. So 3 images per item. And that helps with the ease of use. It helps with the speed of order entry, and that it makes the items easy to find. Some of the vendors, Budweiser, Coke, Pepsi, they've spent billions of dollars to train us to look for their logos. So to look for the Pepsi or Coke item is much faster with their logo than it is with the word Coke or Pepsi. your eyes will identify that button a lot quicker using the logo. So speed of entry and ease of use are two very important things. You can quickly find the item. You can quickly enter that item and touch that item. And that makes it, of course, ease of use for training. Much easier to train the staff on our system with the images than our competitors. Number 6, QR codes. These were introduced at the onset of Aldelo Express, and they have use in various features in our software. They quickly became popular with looking up the menus during COVID, being able to scan a QR code to bring up the menu, and even do ordering from the phone or tablet. It was very simple for the customer to look at their own menu and order their own food. Then programming came into play, where we now program KDS and kiosk using a QR code to link the kiosk or the kitchen display to the point of sale by a QR code. We also do gift cards and loyalty through QR codes. And of course, we do payments through the QR code and clock in and out. It's all very fast, secure, very easy to do using this QR code. Menu coursing, needed for fine dining. This is something that's common in the Windows point of sale world, but not so common in the tablet world. So it's a needed feature for fine dining, one that's not found in other systems. You can have up to 10 courses in our system, with some of those courses being auto fire. So you would take your appetizer or your salad, as those are courses, but you want them to go automatically to the kitchen when you are done entering the other items. So enter all the courses that are for the meal, hit the done button, and the courses that fire immediately auto fire to the kitchen. They don't have to be manually fired. You can have them set to auto fire. It does organize the kitchen prep, makes it very simple for the kitchen to prep, makes it very simple for the food runner to bring out the items to the table. And above all, it paces the meal. It makes that meal go at the pace that that table wants it to be. There are different types of customers. You have some customers who, husband and wife are on a date. They're paying by the hour for that babysitter. They want their meal maybe to go a little faster. Or you have the business meal that needs to be paced at a slower pace. So let the server pace the meal, but let it be sent by course to the kitchen, so the kitchen can handle the load much better when things are coursed in the restaurant. Split item. This is very difficult for some systems, to the point where they just don't do it. It's very difficult when you have an item that has a half penny or a third of a penny left over. What do you do with that? Who gets that penny? It's very difficult for systems to do a split item. Of course, you need it for the wines and maybe even pizza and appetizers, but it's something that's very difficult for other systems to do. In our system, you can split it or share an item 10 ways. You can split and then place that on each guest check. I gave the example earlier today of you have a split of 2, you share it between 2 people, but there's 3 tickets, 3 guests. Well, just put it on the guests that are splitting it. It doesn't have to be everybody gets a portion. You can have it a 3 top split 2 ways. Then if you make a mistake, it can be combined back. There are systems who split the check, let's say, or split the item 2 ways. It says half and then the item and half in the item. If you split it or combine it back, they don't combine it back into one solid item. They still bring it over as half and half. That's not a good way. It's not a clean way to do it. Our system brings it back as to the whole item back into the point of sale. You really, really need this for fine dining, but It's also very useful in pizza restaurants or even casual dining when people want to split it. Number three would be facial recognition. It's easy, it's fast, and it's accurate. I've tried to fool this system by putting on a hat, maybe glasses, or even when we're wearing masks, this facial recognition software still worked. I'm not sure what it was measuring, but it was able to catch and log me in even when I was trying to trick it. It is the most secure method of logging in. There, you can always log in with the 10 keypad. You can log in with the QR code, but this facial recognition is the absolute most secure method of logging in. It even is used for manager approvals. So when a manager has to come over, they now literally have to come to the terminal to show their face in order to authorize a discount or void or something like that. They no longer can just hand over their card or give their code out. They physically have to come to the terminal to approve the discount or void. AI tip adjust. Nobody else has this that we're aware of. This actually reads the handwritten tip and the total on the guest check. It then confirms the math to make sure it's done correctly, and it reduces errors and theft. And I put these on the same line. You don't, sometimes there are servers who will manipulate the tips to suit their own needs. That becomes theft. In this case, the handwritten tip is confirmed, it's read by the system, the math is done for them, and it closed out the tip. So there's no room for errors or theft. This then will reduce chargebacks. This then will help the restaurant in their chargeback fight so that they won't have them. The number one reason, the number one feature that we're going to talk about is AuMenu Build. This, when we go to trade shows and when we go and talk to new dealers and we go talk to existing customers or new customers, this across the board, this is the most interesting feature that we have. And it's actually letting this terminal read the physical menu. It scans it, turns it into a document that is in read by the system. It creates the category, it creates the menu item, it creates the description, and it creates the price. Now, when you're building a menu, most times you're going to skip the description of the item. You think it's just fluff. It's not, it's important. So when we scan, we're going to get all four of these items. It's going to create all the categories for you. It's going to create the menu item the description of the menu item and the physical description that goes below that, as well as the price. It works with new restaurants. It works with existing restaurants because you can add to an existing database, modify that database for price changes, as well as add new items. And it will even work with a handwritten menu. On one of the demonstrations that I did, I took a crayon on an 8.5 by 11 paper and wrote out a Mother's Day menu, scanned it in, and it added it to the existing database. It's a very powerful tool. It can build a database from zero in less than 10 minutes. And we're going to show you one here in the next slide. When it's done, there's very little left to do to complete the database. Rodney's going to take a moment here and he's going to show you how to build a complete menu start to finish, and it'll be in under 10 minutes.
So when creating a new menu from scratch, you do have to have an account already established or create a new account. I'm just going to go ahead and log in. And you'll see the options for selecting an existing store and choosing from a preset demo store. And you have the option on the upper right for create new store. So we'll go ahead and select the create new store option. You do have to assign a device number. You'll see that there are 3 tabs, general, staff, and menu. So we'll start with the general. And if you need to adjust the address, you can, but this is extracted from the account profile. It can be edited. You do have to fill out the required information. This process is just like creating a new store on the cloud, but you're doing this from the app. Okay, so once we filled out everything under the general tab, you'll see the check mark. So we'll proceed to the staff, and it will pull the account creator profile, but you do have to set up a passcode. I'm going to assign that. And you'll see that there is an option to add new staff, but this can be done from the cloud as well. And you'll see it, you can set the security levels for them. But once we have the required information for the creator user, you'll see staff now has a green check. Then we'll proceed to the menu. So now we'll give you an option to manually create a menu here or to use the AI menu builder. So we're going to go and choose the AI menu builder here, and it will pull up the camera. And I have a menu here. So we want to get everything into the frame, and you can manually take a picture of it, and you can drag the corners to make sure that all the information fits within the box, and keep the scan. If you needed to retake, you can retake. I can capture more images. I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. I have some information here that has been written out. I can go and just manually take that picture again, and then I can drag the corners to have the information within that box. So I'll keep scan, and then I'll hit save. So you'll see we have 2 images there. Now, if I needed to add more pictures, I can tap on the take picture here. If I had an image in my gallery, I can choose from the album. Or if I have everything I need, I can go ahead and tap on build menu. Okay, so it's going to start with the first image. It's going to extract the information from there and pull up the data there. So we'll check each group, make sure all the information was pulled over. And you can see that if there is any edits that need to be made, you can do that when you proceed. Make sure all the pricing shows up correctly and the item descriptions as well. So that first page, again, you're going to see a red circle with the exclamation point. We do have to confirm this page. I'm going to go and confirm. We're going to go into the second image, and it will extract the data from there, and you'll see how it pulls the information. So it didn't split up the information by item and then pricing, but that's something that can be edited when we organize the menu content. So once we confirm this, we can go ahead and proceed with organizing the menu content. And what we're going to start with is we know that the menu option is not an actual group or item. And I did pull this item into the wrong group, but we can reorganize it. So you'll see under group name, it's under the menu. You can tap on move group here and move it to the soups and salads. And now that that menu group does not have any more items within it, I can delete it and then go ahead and work with the rest of the information. So we have our appetizer plate. We want to verify all the information is correct. Nachos, right, pickles. Okay, and then I'll check with our soups and salads. Everything goes in there fine. But we do have this other page with the fish sandwich. This is where we can make more edits here. So I'm just going to call it fish sandwich and then put the correct pricing here. And if I want to put a description, I can put that in there. And I can move this to a group, so I can move it to an existing group or create a new group. Just call it sandwiches. Save, and we'll move it there. You'll now see we have 4 groups here. I can delete this group. And this is the information we're going to work with. We're going to tap on back to store quick setup. And then if you do have pictures in the gallery for your device, you can upload pictures. This will be available for all the items, so you can add pictures there. And also what the menu build will not do is create pizzas. It does not have a pizza builder option, nor does it have the matrix build option. Those do have to be built from the cloud. Some other edits that will have to be made as well if they apply is that the modifiers, your force modifiers and advanced modifiers do have to be set up manually from the cloud. And also when it comes to the items, the reports groups do have to be manually defined as well. And if there is any printer routing, they default to kitchen printer 1. If they need to be routed to a different printer, that has to be manually updated as well. So we'll go ahead and tap on build store now. It's going to take the data we have and build the store. So we have our store. All the settings will be default settings. So if changes need to be made with the settings, they can be made as well from the cloud. I'm going to go and swipe over. You're going to see our store here, Happy's Grill 2. You'll see the new subscriber ID for that. I can hide the tutorial video. And then when I log in, if we do not want the clock in to automatically pop up when logging in, we can turn that off on the cloud. But just to show you here, I'm going to go ahead and start a new order. You'll see the menu groups, the items within the group, and how they reflect there. Okay, so that's how you build a menu using the AI menu build. I'll go ahead and hand it over to you, Jerry.
Outstanding, outstanding. And that, by the way, took all of 7 minutes and 26 seconds. So you saw Rodney build an entire store in really under 8 minutes. That's just how powerful that feature is. Yeah, there were some modifications that had to be done afterwards. So it is not a completed database, but it's got 80% of what you need already done. And that makes your job a lot easier in building your own database. That's something that should be a revenue generator for you, and that you could charge your customer for a database build using their menu, their written physical menu, to make that happen. So any questions? Anybody want to raise their hand, ask us a question about anything in the presentation today? Nick, your microphone is enabled.
Yeah, I'm assuming this doesn't handle a pizza menu with all its complexities.
That's correct. At this
Okay,
point,
got it.
at this time, it does not handle pizza or matrix.
All right, got it. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, guys?
While I'm at it, if you're doing this from the cloud, does it allow you to move the items around dynamically like he did?
If this is only done from a tablet, what you saw
From the
today,
tablet?
yes, it's not done on the cloud. You have to have a tablet that reads the menu.
And where do you initiate the process? I didn't see that in the beginning.
He initiated it through the wizard that's been there since day one. This just has a new feature at the end of the wizard where you can build the database manually or through the AI menu builder.
Thank you.
But there is another feature, Nick, in that in an existing database, you log into the system, go into the ellipsis button, little 3 dots. When that pops up that screen, look at the bottom right. It's in that area where it's got the menu builder button there. So you can use this with an existing database by just tapping on the ellipsis button in the AI menu build. You can add an additional menu items, or do a price change with the existing items. It will recognize the existing item and whatever modifications were made to it, whether it was an extra description or price change, and it will do a price change real quick.
Oh,
Good question.
it wouldn't create a duplicate in this particular
Nope,
case then.
does
It
not
just
create a
recognize.
duplicate. As long as they
Got it.
didn't change, if they changed the description, yes. If they change the menu item name, it will create a duplicate. But if it's the same menu item name, it will not create a duplicate.
So in other words, if you print an updated price sheet, it's just basically gonna figure out where to plug in the updates, the price
Yes,
updates.
yes.
Got it. Okay, great.
Very powerful tool. Any other questions? Guys, this is a good one. This is one you can hand to a customer and show that you are an advanced, industry leading point of sale company. This is something that you should take to your website, modify it on your website, or modify your website to accommodate this all these features. Use this video in your website.